A Menopause Guide. Chapter 1. The Foibles of Menopause. Menopause Info. On the Hansen Stress Scale, the death of a loved one or divorce from a spouse has the intensity of 60 points of stress. The loss of a job is 45. A bankruptcy is about 40, but the thing that got me is that they said menopause is 60 points on the scale, equaling the death of someone you love. Menopause is the biggest change since adolescence, only now you're shedding your youthful beauty and presumably moving on to a more spiritual part of life since, by virtue of age, you have the permission to be who you are without worrying about your looks. For most women in the typical family relationship, a dramatic change that accompanies menopause is the empty nest syndrome. The children leave home, you and your husband are left alone, and the relationship could get better or worse. Statistics cite that there's a big jump in the divorce rate at this stage of life. Many couples who don't love each other wait until the kids leave home then get their divorce. Some have had a lover for the past several years but stayed in the marriage to keep the illusion of the family structure still intact while kids were still at home. A lot of women have to go to work to support themselves. A lot of women simply want to go out into the world to do something, so menopause is symbolically a major landmark in the lives of many where youth is left behind and a more creative spiritual mystical phase begins in the search to find their authentic identities. You can find several books at the library where menopause is dissected to death in all ways: physical, spiritual, emotional, etc. The average age for menopause is 51, but doctors can prescribe drugs to keep you menstruating for health reasons to expel the buildup in the uterus, namely your endometrium. A big problem for older women is lack of lubrication brought on by the cessation of the release of certain hormones like estrogen and progesterone at menopause. Menopause is simply the stage of life when the menstrual cycle ends for a woman and she can no longer conceive by natural means, although doctors can help such ladies conceive artificially. The supply of eggs from birth generally runs out, accompanied by hormonal changes. Menopause occurs gradually over time, with the average age of the final period being about 51. Because of vaginal dryness, you may opt for lubricating oils during intercourse. The major characteristics are increasingly longer time between periods, hot flashes, and vaginal dryness. Menopause is defined as having no periods for a year. If a doctor performs an oophorectomy, removal of ovaries, the woman will have a surgical menopause. If you have your ovaries removed after menopause, you won't experience hormonal fluctuations. Once the ovaries are gone, the body stops producing estrogen and progesterone. You'll need hormone replacement therapy. The change in the hormonal secretions is generally considered to be much overrated as the cause of depression and anxiety in women. Within our society, the late 40s are tough on women because they have presumably lost whatever beauty and attractiveness they might have once had. They can no longer be mothers, hence, it's supposedly all downhill from there. There's supposedly a link between menopause and osteoporosis, which is the softening of the bones. Take calcium pills and exercise. Some other side effects may be changes in sex drive, either better or worse depending on the individual: thinning hair, mood swings, loss of memory, and fuzzy thinking. There is a herb called black cohosh which lowers luteinizing hormones, which relieves menopausal symptoms. Soy foods seem to help. In order to deal with the problems of menopause when your body produces less female hormones, the general supplement formula is antioxidants, vitamins A, B, C and E, bioflavonoids, and a lot of herbs mentioned in the natural hormones section. For a book on herbs/alternative medicine, try number 615.5 at the library. Uterine prolapse is a condition whereby the uterine sags after menopause. Treatment is usually a hysterectomy. A patch is currently being developed to offer postmenopausal women a hormone injection which will revive their sex drive. There seems to be a link between the loss of estrogen after menopause and the onset of osteoporosis. Perimenopause/premenopause. Perimenopause is the time leading up to menopause when you start to notice hormonal changes, plus the year after menopause. Ovarian hormone production declines, causing several symptoms. The ovaries produce less estrogen. For woman.gov/FAQ/perimenopause.htm. Menopause.org, North American Menopause Society. menopausecenter.com, menopauseexpert.com, menopause-faq.com/perimenopause.htm, menopause-online.com/pms or menopause.html, menopauseonline.info, menopauserx.com. Holistic menopause treatments. Menopause is an end to a woman's fertility but not her virility. It does not decrease a woman's physical capacity or sexual vigor. During the menopause, the endocrine glands change their hormonal secretions. Menstrual flow stops. Holistic people say a part of menopausal symptoms is psychological, in the head, and a part of it is unhealthy living habits. The ovaries are no longer producing their normal amount of estrogen, the dominant female hormone. This could affect mood and also thin the bones because of the low level of estrogen in the bloodstream. The truth, according to holistic people, is that the average diet for a middle-aged woman is deficient in many nutrients such as protein, calcium, magnesium, vitamins D, E, and pantothenic acid. Eat a healthy diet. All processed, refined, and denatured foods, such as white sugar, white flour, and all articles made with them, should be completely eliminated. Take special supplements such as vitamin C, B6, and pantothenic acid, which have a specific property of stimulating the body's own production of estrogen or enhancing the effect of the existing estrogen. During menopause, the lack of ovarian hormones can result in a severe calcium deficiency. Take calcium supplements. Vitamins D and E are essential for the assimilation of calcium. It has become popular to take estrogen to prevent or postpone menopausal symptoms. Hormone therapy is successful to some extent, but it also has a carcinogenic effect. Beet juice has been found useful in menopausal disorders. Carrot seeds boiled in a glass full of cow's milk for about 10 minutes taken daily helps relieve menopausal symptoms. Get outdoor exercise. The healthier a woman is, the fewer menopausal symptoms she will experience. Some holistic substances for the treatment of menopausal cramps are as follows: black cohosh, burdock, dandelion, DHEA, feverfew, lachesis, passion flower, phytonutrients, progesterone, pulsatilla, sepia, soy, sulfur, vitamin E, Vitex. Chew peppermints. Drink ginger ale. Eat high calcium foods like skim milk powder. Drink liquids. Eat fibery foods. Take a warm bath. Holistic menopause websites. naturalmenopause.net, menopause-metamorphosis.com, holisticgynecology.com, holistic-health-and-beauty.com, holisticmenopause.co.uk, holisticmenopause.com, menopause-symptom-treatment.com. Menopause websites. Books are at number 612.663 and number 618.172-175 or RG186 at the library. Books about middle-aged health are at number 618.2082 and RA778. Books about the psychology of midlife are at number 305.24 or HQ1059 at the library. Menopause.org, the North American Menopause Society. nlm.nih.gov/medlineplus/menopause.html, nlm.nih.gov/medlineplus/menopause.html, menopausefem.com, menopauseandue.ca, menopausecenter.com, menopausedefeat.com, menopauseexpert.com, menopause-faq.com, menopauseinsight.com, menopause-metamorphosis.com, menopause-online.com, menopauseonline.info, menopauserelief.com, menopauserx.com. menopause-symptoms-perimenopause.com, menopause-therapy.com, naturalmenopause.net, womenshealth.gov/menopause/treatment, womhealth.org.au/factsheets/about-menopause.htm, yourmenopause.com, menopause resources, a friend indeed newsletter, POG 515, Place du Parc Sta. Montreal, QCH2W2P1. 514-843-5730. Fax, 514-843-4917. afriendent.ca. American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. 409 12th St. Southwest, Washington, D.C. 20024. 202-484-3321. acog.org. Free booklets. American Healthcare Association. 1201 L. St. N.W. Washington, D.C. 20005. 202-842-4444. ahca.org. National Institute on Aging Center. POG 8057. Gaithersburg, Maryland 20898. 800-222-2225. nih.gov/nia. Free information. North American Menopause Society. Department of Gynecology. Cleveland Hospital. 2074 Abington Road, Cleveland, Ohio 44106. 800-774-5342. 440-442-7550. nams@apk.net. menopause.org. Women's Health Initiative. 6A09 Federal Building, 7550 Wisconsin Avenue, Bethesda, Maryland 20892. 800-54 Women. nlby.nih.government/WHI1. Chapter 2. A Menopause Website Guide, mostly from feedspot.com. A list of menopause websites and blogs from blog.feedspot.com/menopause_blogs. 360menopause.com/blog. advancedhormonesolutions.com/blog. articles.relisen.com. balancehormonecenter.com/blog. betterbodico.cc/blogs/health-articles. blog.feedspot.com/UK_menopause_blogs. blog.feedspot.com/rockville_MD_influencers. blog.feedspot.com/hysterectomy_blogs. blog.feedspot.com/sugar_land_tx_influencers. consciousmenopause.com.au/blog. drannacabika.com/blog. drmache.com/dr-mache-blog. ellendolgen.com/blog. estroven.com/blog. friendfortheride.wordpress.com. happyhoarmonikadij.com/blog. highheelshotflashes.blogspot.com. hormonesandwellness.com. histersisters.com/blog. justasjuicy.com/blog. cathyscoaching.com/blog/categories/menopause. ladycare-uk.com/blog. lyrehs49.wordpress.com. mdjunction.com/menopause. meno-me.co.nz/blog. menopausalmom.com. menopause-aid.blogspot.com. menopausechicks.com. menopausegoddessblog.com. menopausehealthmatters.com/menopause-blog. menopausemademodern.com. menopausetailor.me/articles. menopausewhisperer.com/blog. menopausewoman.com/blog. middlesexmd.com/blog/drbarb. mrsmenopause.co.uk, my-menopause.com, myvitawellness.com/blog, ourjourneymenopause.com, reclaimthemenopause.com/blog, readyt.com/r/menopause, redhotmamas.org, rondanp.com/menopause-blog, sambopatrick.com/blog, sanitypapers.com/menopause-archive, sciencedaily.com/news/health_medicine/menopause, smarterchange.co.uk/blog, thirjoyofmenopauseamyarsblog.live, thewiseourwoman.com/blog, umc.rochester.edu/ob-gynecology/menopause-blog.aspx, blog.feedspot.com/menopause_rss_feeds, feedspot.com/news/menopause. A list of some menopause podcasts from blog.feedspot.com/menopause_podcasts. alexandraepple.com/podcasts, drannacabika.com/blog/podcast, drdebutler.com/category/podcast, drlovely.com/podcast, fitandchips.com/podcast, menopodcast.libzn.com, soulfulmenopause.com/podcast. Some UK menopause websites from blog.feedspot.com/UK_menopause_blogs. cronetribe.com, hotflushclub.com/blog, megsmenopause.com, menoandme.com, menopause-exchange.co.uk/blog, menopausedoctor.co.uk, menopausesupport.co.uk, thebms.org.uk, feedspot.com/news/UK_menopause.